Montana is bigger than Germany, yet fewer people live here than in San Jose, California. How can a state this large, this beautiful, and this iconic remain so empty? Today's video reveals the real reasons behind Montana's surprisingly low population. From extreme winters and isolation to limited opportunities and the state's unique history, you'll see why living here is far harder than it appears. Subscribe to Global Lens for more videos that explain the world in a deeper way. Chapter 1. A land built on extreme. Montana is visually stunning. Towering mountains, vast prairies, and enormous stretches of wilderness define its character. It looks like the untouched American West many people romanticize. But the very qualities that make Montana look beautiful also create challenges that prevent large-scale population growth. Covering more than 145,000 square miles, it is one of the largest states in the U.S., yet only around 1.1 million people live here. That translates to roughly 7 people per square mile, among the lowest population densities in the country. For comparison, New Jersey has more than 1,200 people per square mile. This emptiness isn't just a number. It affects everything: economy, transportation, school systems, hospitals, and community life. The environment shapes daily routines in ways that most Americans never experience. Chapter 2. Winters that push people away. Montana's winters are not ordinary. Eastern regions see temperatures fall into the -30s and -40 degrees Fahrenheit, with occasional dips near -50 during strong Arctic cold fronts. Wind chills drop even lower, making simple outdoor tasks dangerous. Snowfall is heavy and long-lasting. Mountain towns regularly receive over 150 inches of snow each year, while cities like Bozeman and Missoula often see 80 to 100 inches. Storms move quickly, creating whiteouts and icy conditions that shut down highways or trap rural communities until roads can be cleared. Powerful winds add another layer of difficulty. Towns like Livingston experience gusts strong enough to push cars on the road, and blowing snow can bury driveways or close schools for days. These conditions demand constant preparation. Heating bills can reach thousands of dollars, vehicles require winterization, and emergency travel becomes risky throughout the colder months. Montana's winter landscapes look peaceful in photos, but living inside them requires resilience and an ability to handle extreme weather for months on end. Chapter 3. The reality of isolation. Montana's vast land area means long distances between even basic amenities. Many residents must drive an hour or more just to reach grocery stores, medical clinics, or government offices. In rural counties, hospital access can take hours, especially during winter. Glasgow, in northeastern Montana, is often highlighted to illustrate this reality. It has been described as one of the most isolated towns in the contiguous United States, with the nearest city of significant size more than 4 hours away. This level of separation affects everything: job availability, social life, healthcare access, and education. Public transportation is extremely limited. Without a car, daily life is nearly impossible. In winter, when roads become icy or drift shut, mobility becomes even more restricted. Air travel doesn't solve the problem either. Montana has only a handful of commercial airports, and flights frequently require multiple connections. Tickets often cost more than flights departing from major hubs in neighboring states. Montana offers silence, scenery, and open space, but the price is convenience. That trade-off is one many potential residents are not willing to make. Chapter 4. A narrow and challenging economy. Montana's economy is steady but limited in scope. Historically built on agriculture, ranching, forestry, mining, and tourism, it hasn't diversified in the way many modern states have. These industries are essential but employ relatively few people and often fluctuate with weather, commodity prices, and seasonal cycles. Measured by total output, Montana ranks in the lower tier of U.S. states for GDP. High-income opportunities exist, but they cluster in a few cities like Billings, Bozeman, and Missoula. Outside those areas, options are far fewer. Many jobs in rural counties are part-time, seasonal, or modestly paid. Fields like technology, finance, engineering, research, or media offer limited openings compared to large metropolitan areas. College graduates frequently move to cities like Denver, Seattle, or Salt Lake City, where salaries and industries are more diverse. Healthcare access also shapes economic decisions. Montana has fewer primary care physicians per resident than the national average, and rural regions rely heavily on travel for specialized treatment. For families and retirees, the distance to essential services can be a major factor in choosing where to live. Chapter 5. A cost of living that surprises outsiders. Many people assume Montana is inexpensive, picturing small towns and farmland. But in the past decade, several Montana cities have become some of the least affordable places in the region. Remote workers, retirees, and out-of-state buyers moved into scenic areas faster than home building could keep up. Bozeman is the clearest example. Its median home price has climbed into the upper hundreds of thousands, exceeding prices in much larger metropolitan areas. The surrounding Gallatin Valley has seen rapid development, yet demand continually outpaces supply. Rents have surged as well. One-bedroom apartments in popular cities now cost far more than local wages comfortably support. Many essential workers find themselves commuting long distances or leaving the area entirely because housing near their jobs is out of reach. Montana's remoteness also raises the cost of everyday goods. Groceries often cost more due to transportation costs. Utilities spike during winter. High-speed internet is expensive in rural areas, and service can be inconsistent. Montana's rising prices have made life difficult for longtime residents and have discouraged potential newcomers who expected a low-cost rural lifestyle. Chapter 6. Why young people are leaving. A major factor behind Montana's low population density is the steady outflow of young adults. After finishing high school or college, many leave the state in search of better-paying jobs, more career opportunities, and more social and cultural amenities. This youth out-migration weakens rural communities. Schools shrink, small businesses struggle to hire, and populations age. Counties with older residents require more healthcare services, yet younger workers, who would fill those roles, are increasingly scarce. Montana's median age is higher than the national average, and some rural counties have median ages over 50. As young people leave and housing costs rise in desirable cities, Montana faces a cycle where it becomes harder to attract the next generation of residents. Chapter 7. Terrain and geography that restrict growth. Montana's landscape is one of its greatest gifts, but it also limits development. More than one-third of the state's land area is public land, national parks, forests, wilderness areas, and other federally managed regions. This preserves natural beauty but reduces the amount of land available for housing or commercial growth. Mountain ranges, valleys, and remote plains create logistical challenges. Building roads, water systems, broadband networks, or power infrastructure across rugged terrain is expensive. In some places, terrain makes development nearly impossible. Agriculture, a central industry, depends on large land holdings. Eastern Montana often experiences drought, strong winds, and seasonal wildfire risks, all of which make small-scale farming difficult. Ranching requires wide areas of grazing land, reinforcing the pattern of low population density. Transportation infrastructure reflects these realities. Only a few main highways cross the state, and rural areas rely on unpaved or lightly maintained roads. During winter or early spring, some of these roads can become impassable, isolating entire communities for days. Chapter 8. Infrastructure that hasn't caught up. Montana's infrastructure spreads across enormous distances, making it challenging to maintain and costly to expand. The low population density makes it harder for hospitals, schools, utilities, and broadband providers to operate efficiently. Healthcare facilities are concentrated in larger cities. Many rural counties lack local hospitals, forcing residents to travel long distances for emergency care. In winter, those trips become dangerous or delayed, which can have serious consequences. Education faces similar challenges. Small school districts deal with tight budgets and teacher shortages. Some towns operate a single school building for all grade levels or shorten the school week to manage costs. High-speed internet remains inconsistent in rural areas. Although improvements continue, thousands of residents still depend on slower or unreliable connections, making remote work and online study difficult. Montana's infrastructure gap is not due to neglect. It is a natural outcome of having so few people across such a vast landscape. Chapter 9. A history that created a sparse state. Montana's low population density is not a modern issue. It is rooted in settlement patterns that began in the 19th century. The Homestead Act encouraged families to spread out over large tracts of land. Ranching required even greater acreage. Mining towns boomed and faded quickly, leaving behind empty settlements and shrinking communities. Railroads shaped the development of Montana's towns, but as rail transport declined, many communities lost their economic foundations. Unlike states that grew around ports or industrial centers, Montana's economic system remained tied to land-based industries and small, dispersed towns. Today, only Billings has a population above 100,000. Many rural towns have fewer than 1,000 residents and face long-term population decline. Montana's identity has thus been shaped by distance rather than density and by open space rather than urban growth. Chapter 10. Why Montana remains empty. Today, Montana will always attract people who seek open space, nature, and a quieter life. But the factors that keep its population low remained deeply rooted. Severe winters, geographic isolation, limited job diversity, rising housing costs, youth outmigration, rugged terrain, and widely spaced infrastructure all contribute to the state's enduring emptiness. These challenges are not temporary. They are built into Montana's geography, history, and economy. For some, that makes Montana a dream. For many others, it creates barriers that are difficult to overcome. Montana remains a place where nature dominates and communities stay small. Its emptiness is part of its identity, beautiful, dramatic, and enduring. Montana is breathtaking, but it demands far more from residents than most states. Its open spaces come with real costs that keep its population low. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most fascinating and sparsely populated states, subscribe to Global Lens for more stories that reveal how geography and history shape our world.